With the groundwork for our discussion now firmly established by our keynote speakers, it is time to engage our panel of experts to guide us through this first critical session. I'm honored to call upon our moderator, Dr. Asma Mansoori, to take over the podium and lead the dialogue. Thank you, Sana. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Before we formally begin with our session titled Semiconductors Policy, Governance and Funds, I would like to request our esteemed panelists to take their respective seats. I feel honored to first invite Dr. Sajid Baloch, Director General, National Electronics Complex of Pakistan. He is a recipient of both Tamgha Imtiaz and Sitara Imtiaz. Sir?
Right.
Next, I call upon Mr. Zawar Hussain. He's recently retired from Joint Electronics Advisor from the Ministry of Science and Technology. Ms. Gulmina Bilal Ahmed. She is the Chairperson, National Vocational and Technical Training Commission, NAFTEC. Ma'am, please take your seat. Okay. Mr. Zakir Sayed, Director, Ministry of IT and Telecom. Dr. Mirza Habib Ali, Director, Research Support and Member Finance, Pakistan Science Foundation. Thank you. Dear audience, this session focuses on the structural foundations of any semiconductor ecosystem, policy coherence, governance frameworks, and financial architecture. We have Dr. Maria Sultan with us. So as I was saying, our session mainly focuses on the structural foundations of the semiconductor ecosystem, particularly policy coherence, governance frameworks, and financial architecture. Globally, semiconductors have shifted from being market commodities to becoming instruments of state strategy, closely tied to economic resilience, technological sovereignty, and geopolitical positioning. For Pakistan, this challenge is not merely to announce initiatives, but to sustain them across political cycles, institutional transitions, and global competition. The critical question is whether we can move from fragmented interventions towards a coherent, long-term national semiconductor strategy, one that aligns policy, skills development, industrial capacity, and public funding within a single, durable vision so that we can move beyond rhetoric into a sustainable reality. So I will first direct my question at Dr. Sajid Baloch and then open it to the rest of the panelists for their concise reflections. Nasser, you represent a key institutional pillar in Pakistan's semiconductor landscape. How do you see your organization's role within this emerging national vision? And where do you see the strongest need for alignment across institutions?
My PhD is in semiconductor, and I'm lucky enough that I worked during my PhD with NASA. So my chip was sent to the global. Understanding this technology, and I've been fighting this case for, I don't know, since I was young, probably. So I would say this, saying that NECOP, when we started this, we were the first one in Pakistan at that point in time. So I work under the SPD, and the people who know the STD, they understand the intricacies and the delicacies of the STD. So at that point in time, I managed to convince, because I was coming from abroad and I had different kind of ambitions. So I convinced the people down there that for the semiconductors, we need to get at least the diaspora that is living abroad, and they want to come back just because of their kids grown up or some other reasons. And we need to give them good money so that they can sustain in Pakistan. And then we have to forego that they are doing national service. So I thought that's all sorted out. But unfortunately, nobody could come into Pakistan. My friends and all that stuff, they could not. They came over, but then they left again. So at that point in time, I was absolutely sure that if we have to start this thing, that we have to start within ourselves. So I started, and with the FAST, probably some people would be sitting here from the FAST University. So I crafted a curriculum for them, and I and my team personally went down, and we recruited about 30 or 35 people all across Pakistan, and then we trained them according to whatsoever we thought is the best for the semiconductors. At that point in time, I must tell you, because there must be some tri-services people as well, ABM is sitting as well. मुझे उस ज़माने में किसी ने कहा कि आप डॉक्टर साहब इसको अपने साथ बच्चों को क्यों नहीं लगाते और आप क्यों यूनिवर्सिटी में भेजते हैं, आप आपके साथ ये बच्चे ग्रो कर देंगे. तो मेरा पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू हमेशा ये था, और मैं उस वक्त भी कर रहा था, आप भी करूँगा. ये छोटा कॉन्सेप्ट है, जिस तरह से आप गाड़ी ठीक करवाते हैं तो एक छोटा बच्चा साथ बैठा होता है, वो उतना ही सीखता है जितना उसका आपको. जब आप यूनिवर्सिटी में जाते हैं तो आपके न्यूरॉन्स काम करना शुरू करते हैं. यू गेट अ डिग्री आउट ऑफ इट एंड यू स्टार्ट थिंकिंग ब्रॉडली इनटू द सब्जेक्ट. तो इसलिए हमने फास्ट को एंगेज किए, एंड देन वी पहले बच्चों को हमने देन टू गेट Karachi talent into this whole equation. PF EAT, we started the program there as well. We tried to fund, we actually funded that, and we got those things वो हमारे पास से. फिर नर्स में शुरू किया. फिर इसी तरीके से हमने जब नर्स के अंदर तो फर्स्ट बैच फॉर द मास्टर्स I did pretty well actually. फिर the key point है कि इस वक्त पाकिस्तान में सबसे बड़ा डिजाइन सेंटर I'm very proud of it. And for any standards, जो semiconductors में यहाँ पे लोग हैं, हम 6 to 7 ICs take out कर रहे हैं every year with a zero spin. Zero spin का मतलब ये है कि अल्लाह का शुक्र है कि when it comes back on the silicon, there is no fault. We do not need to go back to the fab. लेकिन कुछ चीजें समझने वाली हैं जो मुझे पॉलिसी में जो सवाल भी पूछा है, जो पॉइंट जो because first of all it has to be a vision. सिंसियरिटी एक अपनी जगह पे बिल्कुल जरूरी है, लेकिन एक विजन चाहिए. हम बच्चे प्रोड्यूस करते रहेंगे, कहाँ जाएंगे? उसका एंड रिजल्ट वी नीड टू लुक एट थिंग्स. अगर हम साइलोस में काम करेंगे, ट्रस्ट मी, लोग अपनी हिम्मत भी हार देंगे कुछ ऐसे के बाद. नो एनकरेजमेंट एंड द पीपल आर नाउ मार्केट ड्रिवन. वो हम अपने बच्चों को किधर एआई में भेज रहे हैं, इसलिए भेज रहे हैं, देयर इज अ मार्केट नाउ. But AI is driving the semiconductor because AI cannot survive without semiconductors. The compute power that they need, that is why the semiconductor is booming up. $1 trillion market, dollars की जो हो रही. The other thing is that we need to get the things थोड़ी sensible चीजें देखने की जरूरत है. US की 10 top companies के 7 CEOs Indians हैं. हमारी यूनिवर्सिटीज किस तरह का क्या IIT की तरह का मिलान बना रही हैं. This is what we have to think ourselves. क्या ऋषि सुनाव के जो भी सुसर है वो जो कर रहे हैं, वो there has to be method behind the madness. So my point is that yes, there is a silver lining, but we have to look from end to end. अगर इसका end second end consumer नहीं करेंगे बच्चों को, तो हम नहीं करेंगे. कितने एज अ मैटर ऑफ फैक्ट सिलिकॉन वैली में मेरे दोस्त यारों को अभी भी नहीं पता कि पाकिस्तान के अंदर कुछ हो रहा है. We need to get our people, like people sitting in this panel, go abroad and market Pakistan. Pakistan is a place where we have started this thing. तो ये वो चीजें हैं जो कि इसको शेयर करेंगे.
So if anyone else in this panel would like to contribute to this discussion.
Thank you so much, and thank you very much for Dr. just pushing me there. I'm just going to say two things. Coming from the other side, the people who maybe put some input on the policy side. I think the biggest problem, for example, in the defense sector or the national level is this, that there is brilliant work being done in Pakistan, but it is being done in silos. One. Second problem is this, that there is no interface between science and social science. So the communication doesn't exist. People don't understand the value of semiconductors as a concept for market. And that goes also for the policymakers. So I would encourage that if we have to pitch it, Dr. Shujai and I have been friends for I think forever, and his work is tremendous, like yours and others. This remarkable work needs to be put forward as a consortium so that it is possible and it is made easy. Second, you need to come up with some market-driven idea. Because no matter how interesting the science is, but even if you're asking for funding at the state level and you're asking for funding from the defense, you need a product which can convert into commercial applicability. Because what we're understanding is now that there is weaponization of every commercial technology. And because of that, people want to see what is the commercial offset during these times. And this also means that you need an ecosystem where people can feel that they're growing. The problem with defense and the problem with these structures, a lot of my friends are here as well, is the fact that people already work in silos and then they work in sensitive technologies, and as a result they can't even meet anybody. So it is suffocating for scientific development. So I think that's one. I could just suggest here that NESTEP is something which is right now the air chief is quite concerned in terms of putting some strength over there. I would definitely encourage, and we would definitely be more than happy to present some of the ideas here forward. But since there's a very strong scientific community over here, it would be very important that 2, 3, not big ideas, but specific ideas need to be put forward, and that would allow for that ecosystem to build. And that ecosystem would mean that you will get sustained funding, you will be able to have that leverage, and you will be able to get that structural support. The structural support is not going to happen unless people don't understand the value of science, the value of money, and the value of development, both for defense and for commercial development. So this has to go side by side. And of course, then there is a vertical structure, which we're all very familiar with. It does get you some space, but it doesn't allow you to remain sustainable. For that, we need across community and across different sections some connectivity.
थैंक यू डॉक्टर साहब, आपकी बात से जो आपने एक लफ्ज़ इस्तेमाल किया, जब बच्चा यूनिवर्सिटी में पहुंचता है तो उसके न्यूरॉन्स काम करते हैं। शुजा साहब की मौजूदगी में ये फोरम इस काबिल है, ये सवाल मैंने बहुत सी लोगों को पूछा है कि दुनिया की कोई कौम ऐसी है जिसने इनोवेशन में, क्रिएटिविटी में एक्सेल किया हो, जिसने अपने बच्चे को किसी और लैंग्वेज में पढ़ी। ये एक पॉलिसी, एक क्वेश्चन है। इसलिए कि आपने न्यूरॉन्स की बात की, जो लोग न्यूरोफिजियोलॉजी के हैं वो मेरी इस बात को समझेंगे कि जिस तरह से दूसरे सर्किट्स होते हैं, जो ब्रेन के सर्किट्स हैं, वो अपनी लैंग्वेज में कैसे ट्रांसमिटिंग करते हैं, न्यूरो सिग्नल ट्रांसमिटिंग और किसी और लैंग्वेज। जस्ट आपने सब जो बात की उसमें टोटली मैं एग्री करता हूँ, लेकिन उसमें एक सेगमेंट ऐड होना है, और दैट इज यू टॉक्ड अबाउट द वी। But my experience of working in science and technology framework for the last 25 years, I believe that the vision has to be augmented with power. I'll give you 2-3 examples. Most of the infrastructure in Pakistan was established in late 60s to mid 70s or late 70s. For example, National Institute of Electronics was established in 1979 when the Nobel Prize was awarded to Dr. Abdul Salam. Very few people know the history of science and technology in Pakistan. Just my point is that the infrastructure and the vision in Pakistan was actually in the hands of those people who had the power. I would give 3 examples. One, on personal request of Qaeda-Azam, Liaquat Ali Khan wrote a letter to Dr. Salim Zuma Siddiqui, and in 1951, Saliman Zaman Siddiqui came from India to Pakistan and he established PCCIR. Number two, the major institutional framework and the vision for science and technology in Pakistan was envisaged by Dr. Abdul Salam, which was strengthened by, and he was advisor to the Prime Minister. My question is, कि हम इस हॉल में बैठे हैं, जितनी भी recommendations होंगी, जो भी suggestions होंगी, do we have power to implement that? उस जमाने में जब मैं आपसे बात कर रहा हूँ कि जो पॉलिसी डिसीजन था, आपका जितना भी इस कमरे के अंदर विजन है, जब तक आपके पास पावर नहीं है, डॉक्टर अब्दुल सलाम तकरीबन मुझे डॉक्टर साहब एग्जैक्ट याद नहीं, शायद 8 या 9 साल एडवाइजर टू द प्राइम मिनिस्टर रहे. ही वुड सिट इन द ऑफिस ऑफ द प्राइम मिनिस्टर. ही हैड डायरेक्ट एक्सेस टू द प्रेसिडेंट एंड द प्राइम मिनिस्टर, और उनके विजन के मुताबिक जो है वो चीज़ें चली. और आखिरी बात मैं आपसे ये करूँ कि देखिए साइंस के ऊपर इतनी इम्पोर्टेंस थी कि साइंस फाउंडेशन वाज एस्टैब्लिश्ड इन 1973. इसके पहले बोर्ड ऑफ गवर्नर्स के जो मेंबर्स थे, डॉक्टर अब्दुल सलाम वाज वन ऑफ द मेंबर्स. और मैंने डॉक्टर साहब उसके मिनट्स पढ़े तो उसमें लिखा था कि वी आर थैंकफुल टू डॉक्टर अब्दुल सलाम, एडवाइजर टू द प्राइम मिनिस्टर, हु केम ऑल द वे फ्रॉम इंग्लैंड टू पाकिस्तान टू अटेंड मीटिंग ऑफ द बोर्ड ऑफ ट्रस्टीज ऑफ पाकिस्तान. अब सवाल ये है कि क्या आपके पावर कॉरिडोर के अंदर, ये इस कमरे में अंदर जितना भी वीएन बैठा है, do they have access to power to implement those plans? तो ये मेरा आपके साथ, I totally agree कि वीएन जरूरी है, लेकिन मेरा एक्सपीरियंस ये है कि वीएन के साथ अगर पावर नहीं होगी तो शायद मुश्किल है, आसान हो तो कभी नहीं है, कार्य बेबू नहीं आए.
Dr. Mali, you want to quickly?
Sir, आप बिल्कुल ठीक कह रहे हैं. Just to give a very small thing, SASI has been in the business of policy making for the last 25 years, and as an institution which has access to different places. Let me just say one thing. Yes, what Dr. Abdul Salam did, and we are very familiar with his work, his contributions, everything. But that was a different time and a different era, where personal decisions and could lead to institutional developments. Right now, we are very lucky of two things. One, because we have gone through the May War 2025, so the importance of technology has emerged as a reality. So this means right now your air chief, your field marshal, your prime minister, and your respective chief ministers understand the importance of it. And with regards to actually getting input over there, you can send it and you can change, but you have to follow the structure. And that structure doesn't mean just from the ministries. Very apt representatives are sitting over here, but I'm also talking informal and also other allied structures which can help in facilitating. We are here, I'm advisor to Ministry of Defense on advanced, strategic and military affairs. And let me just say this very clearly, that we would be very happy to support all the work, whatever is there, and to help navigate this, and to get that attention and get it done. So things are not that bad that nobody wants to listen. He just recounted a mayor in which he used his personal influence to get policy decision to even accept people who are dual nationals to work on Pakistan's most sensitive program. So this means access is there. All what we need is a coherent effort. And coherent effort together, and it can be done.
Mr.
The reason the panel is so strong, because we could individually can give a talk, that's why one person there. One thing I just want to make sure, sir, just from Maria telling you, the things are not that bad. When I came over back at Pakistan, I was the one who was a big advocate for the IC Design Center. At that point in time, because Maria knows, because I know, Maria has been working with us and all this. The people I am talking about, they were not very convinced. So I was trying, knocking every door and all that stuff. At that point in time, I just want to tell that if you are persistent and if you are sincere with the cause, Allah helps you. At some point in time, a Chinese very big consortium president came over. And at that point in time, a very big personality in Pakistan was asking him that, would you help us to put a fab in Pakistan? And he said, okay, I'll do it. But can you kindly tell me that how big is your design center? At that point in time, he just thought there's one doctor in the US, come from the US, and he's been asking for the IC Design Center and all this stuff. At that point in time, he called me and he said, okay, whatever you needed, we'll provide you. As Maria mentioned as well, that yes, we all at some point in time working in silos. That needs to be to be broken big time. Where I work now, I have managed to get all the universities on board. Everybody can meet me. I can go anywhere and all that stuff. And we have started this dual shade kind of an organization where we can work with the government, we can work with the private industry, and we can work with the strat forces as well. So it's a dual use kind of the things. And end of the day, I totally agree. जब तक आप किसी को इसमें advantage नहीं दिखाएंगे, nobody sincerely would put all the eggs into the basket. जब आप उनको बताएंगे कि there is a money end of the thing, there is a profitability out of end of the tunnel, and there is a light as well, तब वो इसमें invest करेंगे. So things are not bad, sir. We have been, here for so long, so we know चीजें अब बेहतरी की तरफ चला रही हैं.
Mr. Zawar Hussain, my next question is for you. We think that regional experiences can offer useful insights and points of comparison, particularly with reference to India's semiconductor mission committing unprecedented resources of approximately $270 billion to the domestic ecosystem. Do you think Pakistan has something to learn and adopt from this model? What is your take on this?
आलिया असल में इंडिया और पाकिस्तान का एट दिस स्टेज कंपैरिजन करना तो मेरे ख्याल में वाइज नहीं होगा और उनकी तरफ से जो उनके पास इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर मौजूद है ह्यूमन रिसोर्स और दूसरा वो जो चीज़ें मौजूद हैं हमारे पास इस वक्त नहीं है. तो हमें फिलहाल अपने ह्यूमन रिसोर्स डेवलपमेंट और इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलपमेंट को देना होगा. जैसे इसे प्रीवियस क्वेश्चन में पैनलिस्ट ने हालात इतने बुरे नहीं हैं, यकीनन हालात इससे बुरे नहीं हैं. एक हकीकत ये है कि हमारे यहाँ चीज़ें अपने पोटेंशियल पे कंसंट्रेट करती हैं. सेमीकंडक्टर की इम्पोर्टेंस दुनिया में इस वक्त रियलाइज की जा रही है आज से 20 साल पहले ऐसे नहीं. डॉक्टर साहब आज से 20-25 साल पहले सारी क्लोज वो जब हम इस फील्ड में उनको इसके बारे में बताने की कोशिश कर रहे थे वो पहेली की तरह इसको समझते. हमारे इस गवर्नमेंट के जो इको सिस्टम है इसमें जो मेन डिसीजन मेकर्स होते हैं, जो हमारे मेन नोड होते हैं तो पोलिटिकल लीड्स तक की बातें पहुँचाने अनफॉर्चुनेटली हमारे इस सिस्टम में स्टेबिलिटी नहीं होती और हमें नहीं पता होता कि पॉलिसीज़ को किस हद तक हम कंटिन्यू कर पाएंगे. क्यों पॉलिसी आप बना लेते हैं बट उसकी इम्प्लीमेंटेशन इसी वजह से कंटिन्यू नहीं हो पाती कि ऊपर जो आपका जो कनेक्टिविटी है टू दी पोलिटिकल लीड्स वो आपकी स्टेबल नहीं होती और फिर वो इन चीज़ों को उस तरह से अंडरस्टैंड नहीं. लास्ट 5 years में मैं सीनियर मोस्ट पोस्ट और इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स की गवर्नमेंट सेक्टर जॉइंट इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स एडवाइजर उसमें रहा. मैं कोई 5 सेक्रेटरीज को बताने की कोशिश करता रहा है कि व्हाट इज चिप एंड मैं क्या इस पर एक्सप्लेन करता हूँ कि चिप और चिप्स जो है ना मैं और वो कहते हैं कि जी आप अगर ये इतनी इन्वेस्टमेंट करने जा रहे हैं मतलब इवन यहाँ मेंशन मैं नहीं कर सकता इतनी थोड़ी सी इन्वेस्टमेंट मैं जब डिमांड कर रहा हूँ इसके लिए पैसे चाहिए क्योंकि सब बायर तो असल जो इशू है वो ये है कि इस मामले को समझना ज़रूरी है हमारे ऊपर और ये अब ज़्यादा हौसला अफजा बात यह है कि नेशनली क्योंकि ये रिक्वायरमेंट है तो अब हमारे जो डेवलपमेंट्स हैं वो भी और इसी वजह से ये एक ऑल्दो ये कंपैरिजन विद इंडिया तो इंस्पायर कर नहीं कर सकता था ये बारिश कर.
Coming back to the India thing, first of all, we do not need to be afraid of India. India in the cost of doing business is a lot more than us. That is the advantage that we have. Bangalore के अंदर रहना और पाकिस्तान में के इस्लामाबाद में रहना is not वहाँ के जो इंजीनियर्स हैं they charge you hefty amounts because they are there. इसलिए आपसे हमारे पास अभी cushion है. One. The second thing is there are niche technologies in IC designs where we can excel. ड्राइवरलेस कार्स आ रही हैं, बहुत सारी और AI की बहुत सारी चीज़ें आ रही हैं. There are huge market for the semiconductors. Now these all things, when we put the design on silicon में डालने is a very costly business, and Intel goes with 100% verification. Because you cannot, just slash out millions of dollars just for, some hobby approach and all that stuff. They are absolutely 100% sure that their designs will work, and that's why they go for the fact. Now, this verification business is a huge business where Pakistan can chip in, and इसी तरीके से और niche technologies हम ढूंढ सकते हैं जिसके अंदर पाकिस्तान excel है. There is nothing to be afraid of. Yes, I know. 70,000 करोड़ उन्होंने लगा दिया. Semicon is a program, गुजरात के अंदर वो सारा कुछ कर रहे हैं. But when you brush your shoulders with the big boys, तभी आपकी words निकलेगी, आपकी game improve होगी. So there is nothing to be afraid of. This is how I think.
Dr. Malia, you wanted to
We focus on India a lot, so we know a little bit on India. There is some good news. I know I shouldn't be saying it the way I'm going to say it, but since we're sitting with the informed audience, the issue is this, that India's semiconductor industry and IT industry did not have all this indigenous funding. This is the reality. This funding came as a part of the Democrats' understanding and the US Next Step for Strategic Partnership, which was done in 1999. This money infused into the Indian IT sector is coming from the United States and from the Silicon Valley's, stand-up, which was supposed to be done. The good news for us is that we have the Trump administration. So the Trump administration basically is reviewing all of the earlier transactions which were done. As a result of this, the Indians got two things in the United States. One, they were going to get health insurance which was free, and they could get Indian IT people who could be shifted there. And that's one of the reasons that WhatsApp, Silicon, Intel, all of this manufacturing was shifted to India, because they were going to make it under Make in India and then boost up American IT.
a quid pro quo
Yes.
arrangement, yeah.
But now the American Defense Establishment has said that they're going to shift from the IT and they're going to go to Defense Technology Threat Initiative, and they're going to ask them to make UAVs and going to ask them to get the get the F-16 roll-on roll-off jets and to buy the old American defense technology. So this boom which we have in the Indian IT, although it is quite unique in terms of the manpower and the ecosystem they've created, they will now really have to compete now in the global supply chain in terms of whether their products are competitive or not, one. Second, can they really generate indigenous funding for it? And three, can they sustain this flow of people and personnel? And also whether they can sustain their diaspora, which is born to United States and others, on the basis of free access to US IT industry, which is now being reviewed under the third party placement program, which is being totally revamped by Trump. So it's not a good thing, but good for Pakistan, because they are looking now for bilateral investments. So IT is one thing, and secondly, there is also a great space which we have from the areas where the Indians have left in the IT sector. Just to give you an example here, that is the Pakistan-China Belt and Road Initiative, we all know. But part of that is also going from Gwadar to the Suez Canal. So in Suez Canal, there is a big IT sector which is there, but they have no IT experts, they have manufacturing units, but no design experts. So we have to think outside the box and come up with supply chains where our IT people can create, maybe with Saudi Arabia or maybe with Egypt, that you come up with a very different supply chain for funding and manufacturing.
Thank you. Mr. Zakir Sayed?
Yes. So just referring to the question, you mentioned that it was $270 billion of investment by you. So a quick correction. It's not basically 270 billion Indian, as Dr. Shugan in his talk referred to, is 76,000 crores, which is $10 billion US or something. 270 million is actually an investment by one of the chip companies. So, but even that being said, Pakistan has been making strides in the digital economy and the digital sector, and so so for example, today Pakistan can be among the top 3 freelancers providers across the globe. There is nothing that can stop Pakistan, in being the top 5 semiconductor players across the globe. And you see, a number of case studies that the architects of the policy referred to in the policy. The case of the United States, for example, 60 billion investment, and EU, as Dr. Sugar referred, 43 billion euros, and then China and Saudi Arabia, they have been putting hefty amounts into the semiconductor. That we feel that it's the engine of the modern digital economy, and so that's why in the national semiconductor policy we have attempted to make it an inclusive effort, not only by gluing together the stakeholders, but even within the stakeholders. So, for example, within the government, there needs to be a synergy and coherence and harmonizations among different institutions, and that is something that you guys can see in the policy draft as well.
Dr. Sajid, my next question is directed at you. So one of the issues that emerges here is that of continuity. Since semiconductor ecosystems require decades, not election cycles. So how can Pakistan ensure that its semiconductor policies survive political transitions and remain anchored in the long-term national strategy?
Probably I'm the wrong person to ask this question. But anyway, first of all, I cannot give an answer for surety as much, but as long as I believe in the time to come, probably Pakistan would definitely think कि हम किस तरह से इकोनॉमिकली वायबल बन सकते हैं, एंड फॉर दैट, और इसमें मुझे कोई शक नहीं है, बिकॉज वी ऑल हैव बीन हियरिंग दिस फॉर सिंस लॉन्ग, पाकिस्तान इज द वर्ज ऑफ द डिफॉल्ट, पाकिस्तान इज जस्ट गोइंग टू collapse or whatsoever. So probably in the future, money matters, and that financial transactions definitely require us to look for the avenues where we can get the money, and we can get our youths engaged and all that stuff. So probably continuity would not be a choice. That would be something like imperative that we need to get into this thing. And semiconductor, as we all understand, somebody, Dr. Shujaz just said, in 2030 it is $1 trillion kind of a business. At this point in time, we are closely $767 billion. If we can get this whole thing 1% share for Pakistan, I can tell you that we will be more than 50% of the Pakistan's total export. Pakistan की total export अगर ये मैं से output ये वो सारा कुछ शामिल कर लूँ, it's about what, हमारी 50 billion or something. So this semiconductor alone, as a matter of fact, 1% of this whole market share Pakistan can grab. So that would definitely boost जो हम जिस जगह पे बैठे हुए हैं, उससे आप 7 billion are out of whatsoever the market export volume हमारा है, उसको 10% share बन जाता है. South Korea is a very small country, and it has about 16% of the whole game. So Pakistan has the potential. So इस लिहाज से मेरा ख्याल है कि that would be imperative, और इसमें हमें डिसार्ट होने की जरूरत नहीं. Pakistan is there to stay, to be very honest. I am a strong believer of this, not because that I come from a defense background, but I believe that Pakistan was made, और ये जो बनना है पाकिस्तान का, सारी बकवासियात के बाद पाकिस्तान का कायम रहना, it's a moja, and there is something which Allah Ta'ala wants Pakistan to be there for some reasons, for bigger cause and something like this. So I am very hopeful that inshallah these things will continue, which will help Pakistan, and whatsoever is best for the Pakistan, we should keep continuing. This is it.
जी मैं बिल्कुल साहिब साहब से एग्री करता हूँ कि नेचुरली ये इसकी जिस जो पोजीशन है पाकिस्तान की, इस हिसाब से ये सारा कुछ तो चाहिए. मैंने जैसे पहले कहा कि हमारे यहाँ चीज़ें जो हैं वो अपने पोटेंशियल से ग्रो करती हैं. जब इस सेमीकंडक्टर की इम्पोर्टेंस इंटरनेशनली रियलाइज हो गई और आम हो गई, तो फिर हमारे यहाँ भी इसकी सोचना शुरू 20-25 साल पहले सोचना, तो हमारे दिल में जो डर या जो हम समझते हैं कि शायद ये कंटिन्यू नहीं करेगा, ये फिर उसकी इम्पैक्ट है। मेरे ख्याल में ये कंटिन्यू करेगा, इसकी टेंशन है इसी वजह से हमारे ब्यूरोक्रेटिक जो रोल्स हैं उसमें इस चीज़ की इम्पोर्टेंस बहुत ज़्यादा की जा रही है। आई डोंट थिंक कि किसी भी तरह से डिस्टेंस
हमें करना ये है, और जो तमाम फ्रेटर्निटी यहाँ पे बैठी है, जो पॉलिसी मेकर्स हैं, कि हमें अपनी इस सारी एफर्ट को सक्सेस बनाना। अगर ये हम फर्स्ट एफर्ट जैसे भी हो गई है, इफ वी कैन नॉट टर्न इट इनटू एन सक्सेस, ट्रस्ट मी दैट विल बी ए शो स्टॉपर फॉर एट लीस्ट सम टाइम, because people will not believe our technical community then, because they were claiming so high and all this stuff, but end of the result was 0/0. So end of the day हमें सारी चीज़ को बड़ी सिंसियरिटी से सक्सेस बनानी है, ये इंकरेजमेंट करेंगे। हम बच्चों को नहीं कहते कि यार उनको इंकरेज करो बिकॉज दे लर्न फास्टर, डिस्करेजिंग इज नॉट द ऑप्शन ओवर हियर। तो हमें अब इसको सक्सेस बनानी है, गवर्नमेंट विल डेफिनेटली फंड करेगी ये मेरा point।
मेरे ख्याल से there is enough power in this room sitting here, which is showing Pakistan's semiconductor, expertise. So, अगर हम ज़्यादा दूर नहीं जाते, when we come together and we push forward, so as a group, I will encourage Dr. Shudha to, take it forward and to convert it into a good policy group as well. You will be able to deliver and get this. लेकिन in terms of getting the sustainability for policy, आपको 4 चीज़ें चाहिए। एक आपको products चाहिए। First is product. The good news is this China की बहुत सारी जो Belt and Road Initiative के बाद बहुत सारी जो electronics की industry है, जो small and medium industry है, that has to be shifted to Pakistan. So we should not just shift it and take that absorption just as Hawaii coming or others coming, but to also put into our laws that there would be a certain percentage which would be given to Pakistan semiconductor industry. Second is of course the larger vision. Larger vision में आप scientific development को आगे लेके जा सकते हैं. And third is आपके लिए जो सबसे बड़ी strength वो यही है कि जो आपकी जो youth है, आप उसको एक ऐसा science दें which will allow them to stand on their feet. Not everybody can become a software engineer. Not everybody can do social media content. A lot of people would like to do serious soft work business which will allow them to stand. So this is the diversity, this is the strength. The good news, like I said, is that IT has proven as a defense, an effective defense. आपने ये जो भी जंग जीती है पिछले May 2025 में, उसमें one of the basic components which you actually allowed your kill chain to be superior to the aliens was you relied on your own communications. आपके पास, I just came back from a NATO conference, उसमें we contested with them that Pakistan maintained 99.7% communication grid stability during the entire conflict. जहाँ वो electronic warfare कर रहे थे, सारा कुछ कर रहे थे, और ये possible नहीं होता जब तक कि आपके पास indigenous semiconductor base ना हो या आपके पास understanding ना हो. So there is a big realization at this moment. This is not a normal moment, I would say. This is a very unique moment where you have the leadership, where you have the people, you have the sufficient expertise to go for an economic takeoff. And we also have got good investors from Saudi Arabia. The SCMA is one. And others who are interested to take on this. But इस वक्त Gulf के अंदर they're asking us to go for JVs, they're asking for all this. लेकिन जो उसकी बेस है वो ये है, जैसे हमारे पास IT के मिनिस्ट्री से भी और साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी से भी लोग मौजूद हैं, कि वी शुड इंश्योर कि आपका जो स्ट्रक्चर है वो डेवलप हो जाए, आपकी जो होम बेस है वो it becomes and comes of age. We shouldn't go for individual benefits, but go for some collective benefits also.
Thank you. One point, sir, I agree with Maria that I think also Dr. Shudha mentioned in his slide the framework for coordination among different stakeholders. I think this is the most important thing we need to work on. I just would give one example. In 2002, Pakistan Science Foundation worked with our defense-related R&D organizations, and we developed a very small directive. The idea was that the defense-related R&D had great capability, but that capability, which is even non-classified, that was not accessible to public sector R&D. तो डॉक्टर साहब हमने ये किया कि हम तमाम जो डेस्टो, नेस्कॉम, एमडीसी, एटॉमिक एनर्जी कमीशन, एचएमसी, सब के पास हम गए कि आप वो कौन सी कैपेबिलिटीज़ हैं जिनको हम इंडस्ट्री को या पब्लिक सेक्टर आरएंडी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को किसी से या कोई एमएयू आपको हम लिंक कर सकते हैं। कुछ बड़ी खूबसूरत डायरेक्टरी आज से कोई 20-22 साल पहले हमने डिवेल्प की। मैं सर आपको बताऊँ कि मैं चूँकि बीइंग साइंस फाउंडेशन में भाई फॉर द लास्ट 20 बहुत से इदारे देखे हैं। अगर आप 50-60 किलोमीटर के रेडियस में जहाँ हम बैठे हैं तो बिलियंस ऑफ डॉलर्स की इन्वेस्टमेंट है हमारे आरएंडी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की और ह्यूज कैपेबिलिटी। प्रॉब्लम ये है जो मैं बात जो आपने अपनी डॉक्टर स्लाइड में बात की है कि एक इदारे को दूसरे इदारे का कुछ इल्म नहीं है कि उनके पास कैपेसिटी क्या है, उनके पास इक्विपमेंट क्या है, उनके पास सोल एक्सपर्टीज क्या है। मैंने एक स्टेज पे मुझे एक फेडरल सेक्रेटरी है, उन्होंने कहा कि ये आपके हमारे रिजॉर्ट सब 16 इदारे थे उस वक्त, तो उन्होंने कहा कि PCSIR को और PSF का जो है वो क्या किस तरह का को रिलेशन है, किस तरह से हम आपस में कोऑर्डिनेशन है। तो मैंने कहा कि सर सबसे पहले जो इम्पोर्टेंट है वो एक फ्रेमवर्क डेवलप होना चाहिए कि साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी के जितने इदारे हैं, क्योंकि देखिए सस्टेनेबिलिटी या कॉन्टीन्यूटी जो है ना वो पॉलिसी और इम्प्लीमेंटेशन जो फ्रेमवर्क है उसके बगैर पॉसिबल नहीं है। वो सेमीकंडक्टर्स है या कोई भी साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी का फील्ड है, आपकी जो है वो उसमें पहले पॉलिसी ड्राइव करती है, फिर आपका जो एक्शन प्लान है वो उसको ड्राइव करता है। अब हमारे यहाँ रिसोर्सेज में आपको एक मिसाल देता हूँ, चूँकि हम फंडिंग एजेंसी हैं, एक लैब के अंदर PCR मशीन पड़ी हुई है, तो साथ ही जो लैब से जब प्रोजेक्ट आता है तो वो भी कहते हैं कि हमें PCR मशीन चाहिए, हालांकि रिसोर्सेज इतने ज़्यादा है। अच्छा, इसी तरह से डॉक्टर शाह साहब आपके में है, मैं प्लानिंग कमीशन में भी और बहुत सी जगहों पे भी और इस फोरम के सामने भी मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि पाकिस्तान का क्या कोई नेशनल डाटाबेस मौजूद है साइंस टेक्नोलॉजी इंजीनियरिंग का। हमने 2022 की सब 3 पॉलिसीज जो है वो बस लास्ट में 3 पॉलिसीज साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी की पाकिस्तान में आई है। फर्स्ट वाज इन 1984, सेकंड वाज 2012 और द लेटेस्ट वाज 2022। तो 2012 की हमने इवॉल्व होती देखी, फिर जो 22 की पॉलिसी थी मैं उसके वर्किंग ग्रुप का खुद भी मेंबर था। उसमें एक आइडिया था कि आप STI MIS मैनेजमेंट इंफॉर्मेशन सिस्टम डेवलप करें। तो मेरा ये ख्याल है कि हमारी सस्टेनेबिलिटी जो है वो जब तक एक डाटा ड्रिवन डिसीजंस नहीं होंगे, पॉलिसी की कॉन्टीन्यूटी बड़ी मुश्किल होती है। जैसे जवाहर साहब ने कहा, जिस चीज़ को हम फेस कर रहे हैं वो शायद यूनिवर्सिटीज़ में या एकेडमिक इंस्टीट्यूशन में फेस नहीं कर रहे। कि आपने बहुत सा सफ़र किया, जवाहर साहब ने 1 साल काम किया किसी चीज़ पे, तो जो नए सेक्रेटरी आएंगे उनको उसको एजुकेट करने में, कन्विंस करने में इट विल टेक टाइम, और जब तक वो कन्विंस होंगे उनकी रिप्लेसमेंट जो है वो आ जाएगी। So my point is 2, 3. One, we need a national framework for science and technology and innovation कि इसकी जो पॉलिसीज हैं उनकी कॉन्टीन्यूटी हो, वो एक इनबिल्ट मैकेनिज्म उसके अंदर हो पॉलिसी के अंदर, कि ये इंडिविजुअल डिसीजंस ना हो बल्कि ये बेसिकली एक नॉलेज बेस्ड डाटा बेस्ड है वो डिसीजन वो होने चाहिए। दैट इज द आई थिंक की फॉर कॉन्टीन्यूटी ऑफ पॉलिसी।
And finally, I will direct my question to the entire panel with the very humble request that we're running out of time, so if you could have some concise answers. What legislative, administrative, and policy reforms are required to assure global firms that their intellectual property, proprietary designs, and critical systems will remain secure in Pakistan?
Probably one of the most important questions, because when we are looking in terms of getting a business from abroad, because in Pakistan probably there is no appetite at this point in time apart from the defense that we are using semiconductors. Just very recently I had some work from the US, and the main concern, though he was an Iranian, by the way, Iranians are very good in terms of semiconductors. We all know Behzad Razavi. Egyptians are very good as well. Anyway, to cut the story short, उनका एक concern था कि how my designs would be secured in Pakistan. But that was done on a personal link. But for that, the way Pakistan is looked from other side of the globe is that there is no political stability, there are some other things as well. ये वो इम्पेडिमेंट्स हैं जो कि उनको या हमें वल्नरेबल करते हैं, वीक करते हैं in terms of their, because IP is the main thing for them. So we need to look at these things पाकिस्तान गवर्नमेंट हैज़ टू वर्क, एक स्टेबिलिटी आनी चाहिए. इसका कोई डेफिनेट आंसर मेरे पास नहीं है because I tried to do it this way. Probably, hopefully, the way the things are going, near future would be very stable future inshallah. और ये continuity भी रहेगी whatever it is. जब तक पाकिस्तान के अंदर थोड़ा अमन सुकून नहीं होगा, अच्छा इमेज नहीं आएगा, ये बिजनेस फ्लो इन करना पाकिस्तान के लिए मुश्किल है. I've got one solution for that. So probably for all the entrepreneurs, they might think of having a hub somewhere in Dubai or something. They can have their offices, front offices there. They can get the business while projecting whatever the things while staying there. And then they can download the things to Pakistan as their design centers. Only this thing I can think of at this point in time, just to make sure that the people would rely and respect in terms of their things. Otherwise, it's a very burning issue at this point in time. We can do it on a personal score, as personal reliability and all this stuff, but that is not the framework that I'm looking for. The only thing I can think of is that this hopping thing.
So I'm just going to take 30 seconds on that. Three organizations which exist in Pakistan which can help in that. One is, of course, intellectual property rights organization, which is there. We don't take advantage of it, but this is something which we'll have to encourage people so that there is some reference for people who understand that they can take access. Secondly, you must be knowing there is a new treaty which is just coming out in the next 1 to 2 months. So we must get into evolutionary international law and national law when it is coming to all these things. And third is a new center which is known as the National Center for Industry Compliance. This has just been set up, and this is from EAD. We are working with them. We would be more than happy because they're coming up with ISO, they're also working with GSP, and they're looking at all the other non-tariff conditions which are put in so that this is supplemented. And on what you have said is pretty much spot on. That I would just extend your idea a little bit more and say that maybe we need to have an independent supply chain. And we need to find out where that supply chain is going to go. Middle East is one, Africa is another, which would be a destination. And a third destination which we must think of, which will benefit us greatly, is from Russia and Kars region. Because they are pretty advanced in IT and stuff, so that is something in which we can also understand for those countries which are still leading this gateway and still not interlinked in the same way. So that will allow us to rethink a lot, and I think that's an opportunity that needs to be seen.
Thank you. I would like to highlight 3 points because I think that the major issue is policy and governance. पाकिस्तान में ह्यूमन रिसोर्स भी बहुत टॉप क्वालिटी का है और जहाँ तक मेरा मुशाहिदा है कि इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर भी बहुत है. पॉलिसी एंड रिफॉर्म्स में इस वक्त 3 चीज़ों की ज़रूरत है. आपकी जितनी भी टेक्निकल मिनिस्ट्रीज हैं, साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी, IT, हेल्थ, इंडस्ट्रीज, इनका गवर्नेंस मॉडल आपको इमीडिएटली रिविजिट करने की, रिफॉर्म करने की ज़रूरत है. नंबर 1. दूसरा ये है कि आपके जितने इदारे हैं हर 5 साल के बाद आप इनका रिव्यू एंड एनालिसिस करें. सब देखें, कोरिया और बाकी हर 5 साल के बाद इदारे का 3 चीज़ों पे एनालिसिस करते हैं कि इसको इतने पैसे दिए गए थे, ये ह्यूमन रिसोर्स था, ये टारगेट्स था, किस हद तक अचीव हुए. हमारे इदारों को 40 साल हो चुके हैं लेकिन हमारा कोई रिव्यू एंड एनालिसिस नहीं है और उसके मुताबिक हम अपने आप को रियलाइज नहीं करते. सेकेंडली, पाकिस्तान में जो फंडिंग हो रही है, हम ये कहते हैं कि बहुत कम है, लेकिन जो फंडिंग हो रही है, प्लानिंग कमीशन है, साइंस फाउंडेशन है, HEC है, KPK में दोस्त है, पंजाब में पार्ट है, जितनी फंडिंग हो रही है इसको भी थोड़ा सा, इसकी जो फंडिंग पॉलिसी है और फंडिंग रिजीम्स हैं उसको थोड़ा प्रॉपर्ली रिविजिट करने की ज़रूरत है. और इसके अलावा जो एक साइंस एडवोकेसी है, वी मेट वन ऑफ द प्रेसिडेंट और उन्होंने कहा, आखिरी बात डॉक्टर साहब ने कहा कि हर जो सेक्टर है पाकिस्तान में उसकी कोई एडवोकेसी है, आवाज़ है, पॉलिटिशियंस की, ब्यूरोक्रेसी की, कोई यूनियन है. आप साइंटिस्ट वो हैं जिनकी कोई आवाज़ नहीं. तो साइंस को देखें, इसीलिए स्टेम पूरी दुनिया में हो रहा है अब स्टार्ट से. सर, चाइना में 10% साइंस लिटरेसी का टारगेट रखा है. अब लोगों की जो सोसाइटी की जो SNT की डेवलपमेंट है वो साइंस लिटरेसी से नहीं हो रही है. तो मेरा ये ख्याल है कि हम जिस फोरम पे बैठे हैं, सोशल मीडिया के थ्रू, आर्टिकल राइटिंग के थ्रू, वी नीड टू प्रमोट साइंस फ्रॉम ग्रास रूट लेवल टू द हाईएस्ट लेवल. थैंक यू.
Thank you very much, sir. Dear audience, the floor is now open for your questions. I request you to raise your hands so that we can come to you promptly.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate the comments and the opinion and the views of the panel. I've been in science and technology all my career. What I see is the lack of consistency. मुझे याद है भी कुछ 5 साल पहले एक कमेटी बनी and I was member of that, co-convener था Ministry of Science and Technology में, and it was surprised कि पाकिस्तान की कोई electronics की policy नहीं है, and we were to devise the national policy. बड़ी aggressively हमने कोई 4-5 meetings की, we were getting to some concrete policy guidelines, and then suddenly it faded away. दोबारा पिछले 3-4 साल में उसकी कोई मीटिंग नहीं हुई और I don't know what has happened to that one. मैंने बहुत साल पहले भी I met few political entities I don't want to name, उनका एक नेशनल चार्टर होना चाहिए साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी, एजुकेशन, हेल्थ, जिसपे तमाम स्टेक होल्डर्स which include all political parties, all strategic organizations, and they sign it कि जी अगले 15 साल, 20 साल, 30 साल, this is going to be our policy, no matter who is in the power, we have to work on that. होता ये है कि वो projects मिलते हैं, policy बनती है, government changes, and that goes into thin air. वो सारे project रुक जाते हैं, नए project बनते हैं. एक चीज़ जो हमें सोच बदलनी चाहिए, these projects are lifelong projects. इनकी 10 साल के बाद आउटपुट मिलनी शुरू होती है, 15 साल के बाद मिलती है. हम ये चाहते हैं जी 3 साल के अंदर हमें इसकी आउटपुट मिलनी शुरू हो जाए. हाँ, तो 3 साल में तो प्रोक्योरमेंट नहीं होती, ठीक है. वो ये दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. आई एम नॉट सेइंग अबाउट द स्ट्रेटेजिक ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस, वो उनके दे हैव गॉट ऑल द रिसोर्सेज टू गेट द थिंग्स, लेकिन जो यूनिवर्सिटीज में काम कर रहे हैं या पब्लिक सेक्टर में काम कर रहे हैं उनके लिए लॉट ऑफ effort is needed. Since I belong to microelectronics, मैंने बड़ी कोशिश की कोई 20 साल पहले कि फैब की सेकंड हैंड फैसिलिटीज ही ले आए पाकिस्तान में. वो 20% ऑफ द एक्चुअल कॉस्ट पे मिल जानी है, लेकिन हमारे पेपरा के रूल्स अलाउ ही नहीं करते कि आप सेकंड हैंड रिफर्बिश्ड इक्विपमेंट पाकिस्तान के अंदर ला सकें. सारी दुनिया में हम अमेरिका चले जाएं, यूरोप चले जाएं, आपने कोई खरीदना हो ना कोई फ्यू मिलियन डॉलर्स का इक्विपमेंट, वो इनकरेज करते हैं कि पहले आप रिफर्बिश ले आएं, ट्रेन योर ह्यूमन रिसोर्स, काम चलाएं, उसके बाद आप नया वाला इक्विपमेंट ले लें. सो वी आई थिंक कंसिस्टेंसी ऑफ द पॉलिसी, लॉन्ग टर्म पॉलिसी इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. एंड फॉर मी हम ये बैंड वैगन 2 दफ़ा मिस कर चुके हैं इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स की. अर्ली 70s when the whole developed countries were looking for tax free zones, फार ईस्ट ने इसका एडवांटेज उठाया, मलेशिया ने उठाया, ताइवान ने उठाया, सिंगापुर ने उठाया, हमने वो मिस किया. अर्ली 2000s वाज द फोटोनिक्स एरा. डॉक्टर अब्दुल सलाम ने कहा था कि अब इस स्टेज पे जो फोटोनिक्स में एंटर होगा इज गोइंग टू लीड, हमने वो भी मिस कर दी. अब हमारे पास द ओनली थिंग विच वी कैन सी इज द डिज़ाइन सेंटर. उसमें हम जितने ट्रेन कर सकते हैं बंदे ट्रेन करें, and then outsourced assembly and testing services. That's very important. ये everyone is looking कि हमें कहाँ से outsource ये services मिल सकती हैं. I don't think so. We can get into the fabrication at this stage. It's already a few $1 billion investment for a single fabrication. So this was I wanted to say.
You would like to respond to that?
I just would like to just say something.
Like I said, we have been in the business of policy and also changing Pakistan's policy in multiple things this last 25 years. The truth, and we have worked a lot with the scientific community. The truth is this, that we're individually brilliant and collectively a failure. Once you are going to a forum, well, it's good to give. Nobody stands with each other, especially in the scientific community. And that is one of the major reasons that things don't deliver. I would strongly encourage that if we are here in this room, policy is always going to be driven by people. It's never going to be driven by ideas alone. You know, all of you have just talked about Dr. Abdul Salam, we have talked about Dr. Kadir Khan, we've talked about all of these people. They were individuals at the end of the day, and who drove the system, the same system which we're sitting in. All of you people are brilliant here. I would strongly encourage that we make a design team which is going to take this policy advocacy ahead, and we become a strong, formidable group which will allow Pakistan to move in this direction. But if we are not going to do this and we walk away from this, we all know the problems and we all know the solutions as well. Nobody in this room is not an informed audience. Everybody understands how policy works, what are the problems you face, what are the dimensions. What is missing is that are we coming together? I would encourage Dr. Shujaa that he creates a design team for ideas and for policy implementation. We will support you all the way. We will bring whatever is there on the table from our side. I would encourage everybody sitting here as well to see who would like to be part of this, and let's then push for it. You know, if you want to push for it, we will make things happen. We all have different social capital, but that social capital we are using for individual benefit. And we are producing and mass producing because we are obsessed about how we are producing the people who are under us. This needs to change if we really want us to work.
मैंने 5 साल पहले ही मैंने ये शुरू किया था पाकिस्तान की नेशनल इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स पॉलिसी बनानी शुरू। मैंने उसके लिए 5 वर्किंग ग्रुप्स बनाए, जैसा कि हमारे इस सेमीकंडक्टर के इकोसिस्टम में भी जो मेन इसका यूज़र है वो इंडस्ट्री है। इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स की पॉलिसी में भी जो मेन एंड प्रोडक्ट जिसके हाथ में आनी थी वो इंडस्ट्री थी। इंडस्ट्री ने कंट्रीब्यूट नहीं किया। इंडस्ट्री के वो एक्चुअल प्रॉब्लम्स मेरे सामने नहीं आए। उन वर्किंग ग्रुप्स का ड्राफ्ट आज भी मेरे पास है। बट जो आपका यूज़र है, आज हम अगर अपना फेलियर देखें कि किस तरह खुदा न खास्ता अगर होगा सेमीकंडक्टर, तो वो यही है कि अगर इंडस्ट्री आपको नहीं इस्तेमाल करेगी आपके नॉलेज को, तो ये सारी खसारियाँ हैं। तो सिमिलरली वहाँ पर हमारे साथ अनफॉर्चुनेटली था, एक तो इंडस्ट्री है ही जो है उन्होंने कंट्रीब्यूट नहीं किया, और वो क्यों नहीं किया, हम लोग ट्रस्ट वी नीड टू एस्टैब्लिश दैट ट्रस्ट। वो ट्रस्ट इस्टेब्लिश होगा जैसे कि पॉलिसी 2022 साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी की पॉलिसी भी एक पार्ट इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स का है। 2022 की पॉलिसी जरूर बनी है, उसका इम्प्लीमेंटेशन प्लान आज तक नहीं बना, उससे हमारे यहाँ गवर्नेंस मॉडल चेंज करना होगा, हमारे यहाँ चेंज होगा, एजुकेट करना है कि ये पॉलिसी क्या है, और वो मेरे 5 साल जो हैं जहाँ इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स एडवाइजर थी, किसी ने नहीं किया, तो वो पॉलिसी इम्प्लीमेंट भी नहीं था।
I think we all know our feelings. Between 83 and we have been all gray hairs and all this. Let's now start something new out of this. इससे बेहतर होगा. We have hit the rock bottom. One, whatever it is. तो मेरा ये कहना है, I agree with that, कि हमें एक group बना लेना चाहिए. And I know that there are individual capacities. People are very strong. They have influences as well. Maria Kwasha, very influential as well. And probably we can set the course right. आज से 10 साल बाद फिर हम ये ब्रैग कर रहे हो कि यार उसको ये नहीं हुआ, तो वो नहीं हुआ, तो let's not start working on it. At least whatever the chance we have it, we should not regret it like in the future. Let's do something positive out of it, ताकि हमें ये regret ना हो कि हमने किया कुछ नहीं. होता है नहीं होता, that is on Allah. So let's start working together, and I'm available whatever capacity I can do it, technically whatever position I have, I'm available.
Yeah, I think on this note we'll have to regrettably end our question answer session because I know this is a very engaging topic, but we're running out of time as well. Okay, you can take the question.
I would like Dr. Shujaa, आप एक एडवाइजरी काउंसिल साइंस फाउंडेशन कॉन्स्टिट्यूट करती है ऑन सेमीकंडक्टर एंड इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स, आप उसको हेड कीजिए, क्योंकि सर फंडिंग को स्ट्रीमलाइन करना बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है। इस कमरे में जितने भी लोग बैठे हैं, आप हम साइंस फाउंडेशन में चेयरमैन, क्योंकि मैं फंडिंग को हेड कर रहा हूँ, तो हम एक एडवाइजरी काउंसिल बनाते हैं, कमेटी बनाते हैं, आप काइंडली हमें सिर्फ ये गाइडेंस दीजिए कि अब जो रिसर्च प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं अगले 5 साल वो हमने किन एरियाज में देने हैं ताकि वो आपका जो नेशनल लेवल का एक प्रोग्राम हो उसके साथ वो एग्रीमेंट करें।
Okay, you can ask your question, but I'm not sure if you would have time. The gentleman at the back. Quick question, just to call you, yes. So that, yeah.
जस्ट अ कमेंट प्रैक्टिकली हमें जो इश्यूज आ रहे हैं उसके हवाले से एक आई वुड लाइक टू शेयर अ पॉइंट दैट अभी बात की डॉक्टर साजिद लोचन ने कि ये बिजनेस डेवलपमेंट का तरीका हो सकता है कि फ्रंट ऑफिसेज यूएस में हो एंड वी ब्रिंग द प्रोजेक्ट्स टू द पाकिस्तान फॉर आवर डिजाइन सेंटर्स बट अ मेजर कंसर्न दैट लाइज इन द यूएस गवर्नमेंट इज कि अगर पाकिस्तान को कोई डिजाइन का काम दिया जाएगा तो दैट माइट स्लिप इनटू द हैंड्स ऑफ द चाइनीज गवर्नमेंट और समथिंग लाइक दैट सो गवर्नमेंट लेवल पे हमें इस चीज को एड्रेस करने की जरूरत है कि
The next session, this question will be answered in the next session if you receive.
सिर्फ एक क्वेश्चन है, मैंने अमेरिका में कभी फ्रंट ऑफिस के लिए नहीं कहा, दूर तक नहीं पहुंच सकी, मैंने मिडिल ईस्ट के लिए कहा।
Right. And ladies and gentlemen, with this we come to the end of this session. Institutional coherence and long-term commitment have been the key themes of our discussion. So now the task before us is to translate this collective vision into a sustained practice. The first step towards that is to strengthen a meaningful nexus between academia, industry, and the state, if I may add social scientists as well. On this note, I thank you all for your insights and for contributing to this very important discussion. Thank you so much.